something down at some point for future. There's a few things to write down, but it's really, Leah, what you could compare this to on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as easier than
Well, let's make
Facebook?
sure it works first.
Okay.
Well, we did a test.
Yeah, we did a test. And I did test broadcast. Did you see that?
That was here.
No, this is one came back later in the day.
Oh, I didn't.
I tried to erase on. Leah and I did something. We had like a 6-second. I couldn't log in at home, so I had to come here to do it.
Yeah.
And so when I came here to do it, I thought, what the heck? I'll give an introduction.
New first.
Jeff, all I had to do was, no thanks, all I had to do was hear the coffee going, and I knew it was you over there. Okay, we're live? All right, we are live. July 7th, 2026, council meeting.
We need Bailey.
We're getting ready to start. Jeff would let us. I have a gavel here. I have a minute here. We're live. Jason, would you lead us in the pledge, please? Thank you. All right, we have a roll call.
Knepper,
Here.
Boggs, Joseph,
Here.
Blankenship,
Here.
Gotch,
Here.
Henry.
Here. All right, next up, approval of minutes from June 16th. Oh, that's not right. That was when we didn't have a meeting. It'd have to be June 2nd.
Oh, it would have been June 16th.
No, it would have been June 16th. Okay.
Yeah, that's June 16th.
I wasn't here.
Uh-oh. That was the second.
Okay, that's right.
Tuesday.
Okay, we're right then. All right, do we have approval, do we have a motion to accept the minutes as written from June 16th?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second that motion.
Any questions, discussions, errors, anything you found? Okay, call for the vote.
Joseph,
Aye.
Blankenship,
Aye.
Gotch.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Knepper.
Aye.
Okay, at this point, we have Jason Popeil to talk about our $1.55 million grant. Yeah, you're up first. We have the microphone up there. Some of you, I think, already know the news, but I'll let Jason break it to you as to what's going on.
Yeah, I'm here, no decisions need to be made. I'm just here to give you an update on the Clinton Road project. I do have some information to hand out to help make it a little bit easier. I'm going to start. I got 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not that. Take one and pass it down. And then I'll do this after that. So some things have changed with our funding sources with Clinton Road. We asked for 1.5 million from Amelia Sykes through the Congress, and initially she approved it, but it was cut 250,000 when it went through the Congress. So we are guaranteed 250,000, but that doesn't cover our funding gap. As you can see, the original plan here, if you look under funding, CDS grant, says 1.5 million, which is what we asked for. And with the AMATS grant we have from the state and the OPWC, which we would apply for, it would cover the cost for widening Clinton Road and resurfacing from the top of the hill all the way to the county line. Because AMATS is involved, plans have to be in ODOT format, which is different than what we designed. This project has been designed, but it was designed without ODOT, without federal funds. We did it initially assuming we're going to be local and OPWC and state. But now that AMATS is involved, we have to do federal. So at the top under cost, design to ODOT standard, it actually does cost almost that. It's probably about $300,000 to design ODOT from scratch, but since we've already got it, $118,000. Then the village would have to hire a third-party engineer, since you cannot be the design and the city engineer without having a review. So you'd have to hire a third-party engineer to review it. That's the $15,000. Construction estimate, 2.1. Bidding and inspection. So we were looking at a $2.5 million project to finish Clinton Road, and we were fully funded until that was yanked out from under us. Not at any fault from Ms. Sykes, but so we have a new plan, and
I say, Jason, could you back up just a quick second?
yeah, sure.
We weren't the only ones getting this yanked down to 250,000. Can you
It was-
make a point of that?
Yeah, it was, we are definitely not the only ones. Everyone that Sykes funded, actually every Democrat in the state was cut. All Republicans got their full amount. I know it's some kind of play at the, we'll do this for you, something like that, but for this year, it was the Democrats' turn to take the hit, I guess. So it was everybody, not just Clinton. Reminderville got a $4 million grant for storm, and that was reduced to $250,000, same thing. So given the new source of money I have a new plan that cuts the scope down. Unfortunately, it doesn't, it's just resurfacing now. It's, and pavement repair. This allows us to complete the project without any more additional cost to the village, given the two, as you can see, underfunding. So everything's pretty much the same, except design, under cost, design to ODOT standard is a lot less, since we're just resurfacing. There's no right-of-way work needed. There's no give and take, negotiations on, because we were originally widening the road, we were going to need to be in right-of-way for equipment. So it's a lot simpler to design than just a resurfacing project. So that's why that cost has dropped, so has inspection. So the project is now only 1.1 million instead of 2 point, whatever I said, I forgot what I said. 1.1 instead of
2.5 million.
2.5. That we can still do it with the cut we have. AMATS is still involved, and they have us planned for a construction year of 2028, fiscal year 29. That's as soon as they can put us on the board. So that's good news, bad news. Bad news, obviously, is we have to wait until 2028 to resurface Clinton Road. But the good news is it's no cost to the village, at least no additional cost. But it gives us a gap year of 2027 to reapply to Sykes' office and ask for that gap. So we're going to move forward with this current plan sheet that I passed out, resurface it, because that's the money we have locked in. But in 2027, we're going to have another opportunity to submit to Amelia Sykes, and we're going to ask her for the difference that was lost. Actually, I'm going to ask for a little more, because I know she feels bad for it. So if we get it back, then we're going to go back to the original plan. And then we're going to have to quickly gather all the troops, because we're going to have to quickly change it. We'll have to actually go to public bid for this design to ODOT standard, because it's over the limit. And then you'll have to hire a third, I'll guide you through, it's a complicated process, but that's where we are right now. I'm telling AMATS we're going to resurface in 28. I'm also going to be reapplying to Sykes next year. If we don't get anything, we're going to resurface in 28. If we get it, we're going to do the full widening, drainage improvements, 2.1 million, the big one, in 28. Bad news is that nothing's going to happen until 28. So we don't know if it's going to be resurfacing or still full depth or full repair. But we have to move forward with something right now, or we're going to lose the AMATS funding. So we're going to tell them we're going to resurface in 28. Get the money. I'll say if we change our mind, we're going to do the full thing.
Yeah, it needs something done.
I know, yeah, we know what it needs.
Yeah, I spoke, and I don't like only doing part of it, but the way you're operating, we still have a chance we might be able to do the whole thing.
Absolutely, and it's not, there's even a question, when you apply for her funding, there's a question there that says, is this project already funded? Yes, and if yes, have we, as the Sykes' office, contributed? And if we say yes, then she already knows, they want to be the last piece. They always want, for the biggest press, they want to be the last bit of money to make the project happen, and that's what she'll be. So it's good for her, too, so it's.
Okay.
It happens often, I should say, is additional funding for a same project.
Can you explain the design, the ODOT standard design? I don't mean.
I'll try.
Well, wait, no, let me phrase this properly,
Yeah,
okay?
I know what you're trying.
Okay, no, I don't want you to do the ODOT design, because that's a complex gobbledygook anybody here understands. So, okay, but what I mean is, I want to combine that with the third-party review. And the reason, okay, what would be the price difference if we had a different party do the ODOT design and avoid this third-party review?
They would be starting from scratch.
Okay, which takes the price to about,
They would be at about probably 225, 250.
okay. So this is still, even though, and because this is to avoid a conflict of interest.
And you're still gonna have to go put this out. So we'll submit 118 and you'll get other people submitting theirs too.
Okay.
And you'll see what the difference is.
So we'll still have to go out to bid for this.
Yes.
But if we choose you as our bidder, which is what, we all hope happens, then there has to be a third party come in because you are
Yes.
our.
And we will be well below the 15,000 that would cost to have a third party.
Does that make sense to everybody here at the table?
A little bit.
If you.
A little bit. Like, I don't understand, like, how it would cost $50,000 to design, to repair and resurface.
ODOT has standards, and I'm not an expert in it by any means. We have drafters that just specialize in it. They require certain line work, certain software. The plans for resurfacing, when we do them, is a book like this. It's an 8.5 by 11 pamphlet. When they do it, it's a plan set like this. They cover every base. They have all the trees examined for wildlife endangerment. They check every right of way. They go into detail, and it costs a lot to do ODOT plans.
There's right-of-ways in Clinton Road?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what with the homeowners part?
Yeah, they would make sure that no right of way is going to be disturbed. All, full survey, everything, even for a resurfacing project.
And don't
We
plant any
did a-
endangered trees there.
Oh,
I'll screw it up.
In Greenwich, I'm sorry, it's Greenwich Road, but it's the Village of Westfield Center in Medina County. We just did a very small project, a 75-foot of guardrail. We had to take out and just re-slope it and put it back in, and it took like a year and a half, and the plans were like that. And it was a guardrail replacement.
Wow.
I could bring someone in to explain it to you, because they have terms, and this 118, I was in conversation with our ODOT guy on that, and I said, we have everything done. Survey's done, plans are done, all you gotta do is just turn it over. And he's like, it doesn't work like that. And he showed me the whole process. We can't not get any lower than that. That's the cost of, to break even.
So what we paid to have done before, we can't use that now, is what you're
can.
saying?
It is being applied.
Now, first, it's lowering this cost, because if you didn't have that, then even we would be at that same price that the other guys are gonna be, but we would be at $250. I think you paid $90 already, so you're saving some money you actually haven't doing that. And then if AMATs were not involved and we didn't have to do ODOT money, or if we end up actually just resurfacing it, you just sit on the plans, and then when we get federal funds, we don't have to worry about ODOT. We just update the dates, make sure the specs are all right, and you can still use those plans.
I think before any of that's done, I think council and I think the engineers need to go down there during a big rainstorm. The drainage is horrible down there. That's why if you go down there to the car lot at the end, you see all their gravel washed out.
No
And
one's,
that poor
no one's
guy,
debating it, it's just the fact that we lost the funding.
sure,
We can't.
but, I
Unless-
get how government works. If we get the money, we gotta spend it, which I just think is absolutely stupid. But resurfacing it, all we're doing is putting a Band-Aid on it. We're not fixing anything.
I know.
I mean, we're making it
100%
smooth
right.
for what, the semis going up and down? Because right now, there's 50, 60 semis
We would
going up and down.
actually, they would pay for resurfacing and pavement repair, so we would mill off the whole surface, probably 3-4 inches, and pavement repair. It's not just a mill and fill, it is a little bit better than that, but it's not solving the problem. Because the original plans was actually widening it, adding shoulders, and getting the drainage off the road. New storm sewers, not
Mm-hmm.
the entire thing, but a couple crossovers, and so it wouldn't happen again.
sure.
That was the big one, that's the one
It's
we're
like the
hoping.
drain in front of my house. So this is downhill,
Yeah, I know.
and it actually goes this way. So water sits in front of my house all year long.
I know, I've seen it.
Mosquitoes are horrible, everything's, I mean,
Yep,
it
no
just-
one is, no, it's not.
And then the drains are so small, I go out there with my blow, I have a big turbine blower and I have to blow them out. I gotta do that once a month. If I don't, water don't flow, and then you just see thousands of gallons of water flowing down Clinton
The
Road.
picture, we have pictures and documentation and testimony, we've submitted all that to Sykes, that's how we originally got the grant. It's just out of our control that it was cut. I mean, they're aware of the situation, we're doing with what we have. And I'm not saying that resurfacing is not the only, like I said, we're gonna apply again when it comes around. It opens up again in
So
March.
we lost 250,000, so that lost us everything then?
No, we lost more than that.
We asked for 1.5. Down
Oh,
at 250.
okay, I thought
We were
you said
originally,
lost 250.
no, we did get 250 guaranteed right
We
now.
lost
That's what
about 80% of the money.
Yeah, we asked for 1.5. She said what she recommended 1.5, so we were awesome. And then everyone got cut at the federal level.
Here's a question that I have that I don't know if you can answer. It's not really you, but it just this is a source of irritation for me. And I think you know what I'm going to ask.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. We were notified in April that, hey,
Oh.
are you guys available for a photo shoot right out here?
Yeah, I know.
I said, okay, all right. When you called me and told me about this 250,000 you got cut down to, you said, well, there was a press release came out. That press release, I called it Amelia Sykes' office, and that press release came out in January.
Mm-hmm.
How come we got the email in April saying we accept this much money if they knew in January we weren't going to?
I don't know.
Okay,
Politics.
yeah,
I think they probably used that time to try to negotiate back their money back, maybe.
that could be.
I don't know how it works up there.
Yeah, but no, I saw that, I looked at the dates, I thought, because I even hesitated to announce the money until I talked to you, said, how certain are we?
And I'm learning my lesson too. I'm not going to do it either.
Yeah,
Even if this next year coming around, I'm going to ask for, so 1.5 is what I asked for originally. I'll probably ask for 1.8 so we can cover these costs of going to ODOT and a third-party review. And if we get 1.8, I'm not even going to tell you until she, because I don't know if she's going to do it or not, or if we'll get cut again, but yeah, so anyway, the time schedule is March, so around March we'll apply, and she'll let us know late spring if it's past her committee, which it probably will, and then we'll find out if it's actually official or not, is it right around Christmas, Thanksgiving time of 27, which
Yeah.
means we have a very little window to get 28 construction.
well, and I feel bad for her and us. It seems like the last two grants that
Oh,
she's
yeah,
worked her butt off for
Yeah.
have gotten cut or we had to send back. It's not been,
her fault at all.
I know, so it's bad for everybody, but it hurts us the most.
It's unfortunate when infrastructure has to be used for the games, but
Yeah, because his road, it's not been serviced in 30 years, as
know.
you know, we know, for the people watching at home, this is badly needed, and I say we fight for every dollar we can
I'm gonna ask
going forward. So I like your game plan. It's not ideal,
No.
but it is working towards a goal.
yeah, we still.
And why can't we get semis to stay off that road?
Well, I know it's a county road now.
Then the county should pay for it. I mean, Jim lives on that road. He'll test you. What do you think? 60 semis a day go up and down that
You
road?
can go to the county and ask them, but I think I know what the answer is going to be.
I mean, when you
No,
got
it's-
40 semis,
It's a county
80,000
road,
pounds
but
going up and down.
the village is responsible for maintenance. It's not,
Kind of like
It
that
sucks.
bridge in New Franklin.
yeah. Even ODOT state routes now, if they go through a city, city has to maintain it. Village of Boston Heights has to maintain State Route 8, and that's like,
Because
village.
those semis aren't coming to Clinton, they're going to New Franklin.
And I use the semis, and actually your industrial park here
Yeah.
probably uses it a lot too. We use that economic development, it's the only access to the interstate system is up. It's the only way to get to 21. New Franklin and Clinton have to use it. So that's what we put in our application. That's why it was approved initially, is because of that. The issue, the drainage issue and the use. And if it's widened and improved, it could spur economic development in here, Clinton and New Franklin. And that was our argument. That's why we were awarded the money, which is cut. So we still have that argument. Not all is lost. Just wanted to give you guys an update.
How bad does the road have to get before they do shut down this road for semis?
They would have to be you guys. It would have to be the city, the village of Clinton that shuts it down.
And what do we have to do to do that?
But I guess you got to put but I can look into it a little more, maybe.
I know we talked about it one time before because we talked about putting signs,
Gotta-
no trucks over 10 tons or 20 tons.
Yeah, I think that's more law director question. I mean, you'd have to post a detour, permanent detour, I would assume.
Because all they're doing
Least-
is just tearing the road up more, and they keep doing it. I mean, and if I sound like I'm very agitated, I am, because I woke up Christmas Eve morning, and my whole entire front of my driveway was gone. It was a 3-foot by 5-foot, 3-foot deep trench. We couldn't get in or out of our driveway. Well, actually, it was the December 23rd. That's how much water, and it rushes it down. And now you have all these semis that are going down there, and I mean, you see the road crumbling. It's horrible.
I know. Yeah, I mean, do you know the question to the closing Clinton Road? Is that something
Weight limit?
I was talking to Rita on something.
Oh. He had a question on when is too much? Too much, if we're not doing anything till 28 and the road's crumbling and the Simmons are still using it, can we close it?
It might be worth exploring what roads feed in and out of that, because if there are
21.
municipal roads
Yeah.
that are used at all, we can limit their access to the municipal roads on and off. That might detract some of the semi-traffic. We can explore weight limits, but with it being a county road, that really,
But again,
I mean,
the
it would
county
be-
needs to pony up some money and help
Yeah.
maintain it. And I followed so many semis, and they all go to right here on Van Buren Center, or they go down to Fairline Road. I mean, they could go Eastern Road, but they choose not to because Clinton Road's easier, I guess. But it just, they're not even coming to us. It's not like we're making any money off any tax revenue.
right,
They're just cutting down
Making
through
it
our
close
road, and
up.
our road is, I mean, if you go down there, you'll see it.
we'd have to get the state to do that.
Oh. Unless they make it a toll road.
But yeah, unfortunately, the state law is pretty clear that all like streets, alleys, right of ways are our responsibility.
I know. Yeah. That's,
But I mean, I've seen lots of roads that had weight limit, 10 tons, 20 tons.
yeah, those are for bridges.
Yeah, no, that involves a bridge.
Oh, well, there are bridges there because
Yeah,
the water pipe goes from this side to that
But
side.
the weight limit
So
on
it's
that.
classified as a bridge.
Yeah, I guess you can- It's true. Yeah, I'll leave that to the solicitor. I'm just funding and design.
Okay, are there any? I'm sorry, I love that answer.
Explore creative solutions
Yeah,
outside of a public meeting.
there are bridges. I love that. Okay, any other questions for our?
I just had one question, Jason, maybe if you would. Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
Do you know, are you involved with any of the other projects that were funded in Summit County?
Yeah, there's
Do
several,
you know if any other funding projects in Summit County by Amelia Sykes were cut?
all of them.
All of them, so including the $21 million
Every
given to
Democrat in
Fairlawn?
the state got cut to 250,000. No matter what they
Only
asked
in the
for.
state or all through the country?
Oh, I don't know about,
Federal money.
I didn't look at I didn't look at
Yeah.
any other state.
Okay.
Everybody did.
Okay. I'm going to look into it further and find, because Fairlawn got $21 million too
From Sykes?
from Sykes.
Yeah, you better look into that.
That doesn't seem right to me. I feel.
Unless it was a different fiscal year.
No, this was as the current funding sources.
I was talking to a few people at the State House this past week, and one comment he made was depending on which bucket the money was coming out of, as to whether it could be cut or not.
Okay.
And I didn't completely understand that, but like they've got buckets of cash, and some are the
Yeah.
general fund that can be handed out. That's what can be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Some are out of a personal account that you can't take away. So
So Sykes is Fairlawn too?
Oh, yeah,
her
would be
district?
Fairlawn as well, yes.
Okay, I didn't know she went that far.
Yeah, she would go that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
it seemed fine.
No, I was looking it up while you were talking for curiosity's sake.
Gotcha, yeah.
I just,
I would double check with, I don't know, if you have I have a contact with her office. Sykes
I actually have
Tamika.
direct contact with her. I know someone whose mother works for
Okay.
her.
Yeah, so yeah, I would
So-
double check just to make sure. If you haven't heard anything, then maybe you're from the different source.
Okay,
All right,
Okay,
Thank
all right.
you.
Thank you.
Jason, thank you very much for coming out. No problem. I always like to have other people give bad news. Yeah.
Well, the good news is we don't have to worry about the sewer. We don't have to fight and argue over that.
Solicitor monthly report.
Oh, nothing exciting to report on my end.
That's too bad. We're on to the police monthly report, and I don't see them. Police monthly report, fire chief monthly report.
So for the month of June, made a mistake on here. We ran 33 calls, not 34. It was 21 medical, 2 traumas, 10 fire related. We had our SUMA CE trainings. 7 were outside the village, the rest were inside the village.
Any questions for our fire chief? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, and thank you, Wayne. Thank you for what you did at the festival the other day.
Oh, it was a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time, and thank you for whatever you did to that dunk tank so I didn't have to go in it. So I appreciate that more than.
What a danger. Thank you.
See, there's power of prayer. Okay, street commissioner monthly report. Kevin's not here, he's on a well-deserved vacation, but he did tell me before he left a few notes, and he said he'd send them to Leah, who then printed them out for me. Granted, mowing grass, roadside mowing, that's take for granted. The tree trimming at the park in South First Street, when we were over there, I don't know if you noticed, there's some trees were missing. We had some old trees over, they had to come down. They came down before our 250th birthday party. Another thing that actually a citizen called me and pointed out was the guardrail replaced on South 2nd Avenue, 60 foot of guardrail. I've been getting complaints about that for, I don't know, 3-4 years now? When's that going to be fixed? Well, it is finally fixed. If you notice, the trees were removed and the stumps got ground out here right beside the Village Hall. Those were trees that council voted on a month ago, I think it was, or maybe longer than that. But anyways, those trees were, what was the term for them? Invasive trees. So they're no longer invasive to the Village of Clinton. They are gone, as well as the stump grinder. For those of you who've not seen a stump grinder in a long time, these are operated by remote control now. The guy stood out there, it's like you would operate a drone, and it was pretty cool. All right, so I know I get excited about weird things. So. Okay, the two additional flag poles, and the flags were ordered and came in today. Those are the flag poles that we're looking to actually, instead of having the main flag pole out here, looking with the trees down, this would be, and Kevin and Lee, you guys came up with it? I think so to Ross, and you guys liked it so much, and as it's described to me, I liked it. I think you sent me a picture of it, and then I have the picture right here. But you will have the American flag, the state of Ohio flag, and the POW flag. So I think it's going to look really good around the gazebo there. That is a nice addition, really beautifying up this area. And boy, that grass looks good without all the stumps in there. So we're still waiting on the installation hardware for the 30-foot pole. And Leah, you've been contacted with the company. You've been in contact with the company.
Yep.
So that is the Street Commissioner's monthly report. Zoning Inspector quarterly report.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry about all the noise with the printer. Apologize. So let's start off with high grass. We've had sent out 5 high grass complaint notices. 4 complied. Residents did cut them. 1 is up actually today, and I'll check on that tomorrow. We had 2 planning meetings. 1 was a lot consolidation on Cleveland Maslin Road. 1 was a conditional use for Trailhead Pizza for an outdoor refreshment stand. There was 1 variance applied for. I had to deny an application, so therefore there was 1 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. This was for the structure fire on West Comet, the barn that went up a couple months ago. And the owner wanted to rebuild it in the exact same footprint. Unfortunately, had to deny that due to current setbacks. But we had the meeting and that passed, and I believe they're underway building. So total with permits, 9 total, 2 approved by planning, 1 approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, and 6 approved by myself. This month, we have 2 planning meetings coming up, actually next Monday. 1 is to discuss a lot consolidation. The other is for a conditional use for an accessory dwelling unit on Surface Road. And we have 1 BZA meeting, actually a week from tomorrow, to discuss a front yard setback variance on Cleveland Maslin Road for a new residential building. That's what I have.
Okay, so next Monday is the zoning, is the planning, and next Wednesday is the zoning board of appeals for the other issue.
Correct.
Okay,
13th and 15th.
okay, both are at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's That's good to know, and of course, everybody's invited. They're both public meetings, and
Of course.
both, yeah. So we can see what's going on and see if good things or bad things are happening. All right. Does anybody have any questions for our zoning inspector at this time?
I do, the building fire, did that cause damage to the neighbor's property?
It did. It caused damage to.
And that because it was too close to the border?
Yes.
And then they went ahead and approved to go ahead and build it right where it was at anyways?
It caused damage to the neighbor's garage, and it also caused damage to the applicant's home. The reason for, I believe, for the passage was the house was 50 foot away from the fire, and it got damaged. The garage was 10 foot away, and it got damaged. So with the variance approved, it really wouldn't have mattered. Everything, I mean, would have got damaged either way.
Like how far apart were they supposed to be?
For accessory structures, should be, per code, 20 foot.
And it was 10 foot?
No, it was on the line.
Oh,
No, the neighbor's garage was 10 foot from the property line. But that building, that went up, that was built in, I believe they said 1890 something. So, you know, they were grandfathered in, obviously, and then the neighbor's garage, that was built before 2018, when everything got codified, and all the numbers switched, and, you know, got greater and stuff like that, so.
so if there's another fire, it'll probably do damage to it again?
Well, let's not hope that happens.
Well, we're not hoping, I'm just asking.
To the neighbor's garage and to the people's house probably, which is 50 foot away.
So the according to zoning, just so I'm just listening to what Ross is saying, according to zoning, the building should be 20 feet off the property line, right?
Correct.
Okay, the existing garage that got burned, with the neighbor's garage, it was 10 feet off, but that had been there since before. Okay, so rebuilding this, how far off was the barn that burnt down? How close is that to the property line?
It was on the property.
But the variance asked for it to be how far off?
They asked for a 20-foot variance
Okay,
to rebuild it in the exact same footprint.
okay.
On the property line again,
Oh, it's on the property line again? Oh,
right where it was.
okay, all right.
Excuse me, do materials make a difference? In other words, if it was a block building rather than a wood frame?
Well, it's
Does
hard
that
to burn
change it?
brick, but.
Yeah, I mean, does that,
You
does
know,
that matter in a
building-
variance?
It, you know, that, I wish the chief was here. From what I heard, that was a big fire.
It was.
Basically, the whole thing, I drove by a couple days later and there were just 4 poles standing in the yard. you know.
Well, I remember that day specifically, a few days I actually drive that direction. I had to head over there for something. I got detoured twice, and that was a huge fire.
You know, it's you know, this year, we've had 2 houses go up and that, which is in this small village, you know, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's
Any,
a lot.
any more questions for our zoning inspector? Jeff, thank you very much.
Thanks, thank you, Mayor.
Fiscal officer's report.
Our audit should be starting next month.
Okay, we do the audits every 2 years? Okay. Anything we should expect as mayor and council for the audit? Don't they usually contact one or some of us?
They already did.
Okay. All right, good.
Ross responded and
Well, good.
should be good.
Sounds good. Unfinished business. All right, any questions for our fiscal officer? Okay, unfinished business. All right, I take it that's no. Mayor's communications.
Mayor, let me interrupt you before you start.
Yes.
Got something.
Sorry, we can't go back.
No, I would like to thank Kevin. Of course, I never want to go over anybody's head here. So I did ask him if I could paint the lines in the parking lot. And I've done it before when Terry was here. He gave me permission. And actually, Councilman Boggs and I teamed up on that. And him and I got it done on a Saturday. So it's just something that looks a hell of a lot better and saved the village hundreds and maybe $1,000, whoever knows. So it cost $105. And I lost the receipt. So it looks like it's on me.
Thanks.
Yeah, right.
We appreciate all you do
I
for
know,
us.
yeah.
But Kevin told me you did that. I've been meaning to thank you, and then I forgot about it. But yeah, they look absolutely fantastic.
It's just something little like that, just.
You needed it.
Well, he did blame the crooked one on you.
What's that?
He did blame the crooked one on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need my driveway painted.
Yeah, well, you didn't get the bill yet from Boggs and Fergus.
By the way, Mike called me before the meeting. He couldn't make it tonight, so just I meant to mention that early on. So thank you very much for that. Mayor's communication. First, let me start off with I was supposed to have a meeting this morning with the gentleman that could have told me where the 250th flag was. It got canceled. So next time, we're going to push for that. We should have had that back March, but I don't know where it went. So we're still waiting on that. I would like to comment on the event that we had over the weekend. I think it went very well. I wrote down well, but it went very well. And the reason why I say that, some of you may say, well, gee, it got rained out. Not as many people showed up, so we thought, well, I kind of attribute the weather forecast to driving away probably 3/4 of the people that would have been there. So I really think we would have been packed had it not been for that nasty forecast. And, of course, in the issue of luck, once we shut everything down, the sun came out. It was weird. It was also too late. But I think for those of you who attended, I know I had a great time. I got to visit a lot of people. I think I looked around. I think all of you who were there also got to visit a lot of people, a lot of citizens. Some people came up from out of town. Our own secretary, Sue Mayberry, she was a trooper. She was a trooper. She did a lot of work there, and she does not live here at all. So very much so. And of course, Citizens Group, everybody that helped out. There was a lot to be done, and a lot got done, and it came together. You guys did well. From what I understand, you're planning on that next year also.
I'm addressing that in my.
Okay, so I won't spoil it for you. Something might happen. Okay, I attended a meeting several weeks ago at First Energy, and there's three things I want to cover from that. The first is called the TYRP. Does anybody know what that stands for? Okay, I'll tell you, because I could never figure this out. 3-year rate plan. What they're doing, First Energy, is actually working on ways to keep the energy bills more stable. So you're not seeing it fly up within 1 year time. So we're looking at a 3-year rate plan, which is still going to go up, but not as much, and it's going to be a gradual increase every year of what they're charging. That's one of the things they're doing, and they're doing everything they can. They have people there speaking who not only monitor the weather, but will keep track of like if they know of neighborhoods where there's trees that could be an issue, they'll try and get out there and trim those prior to anything happening. That's not to say they catch every one of them, but they do. And they also addressed, my favorite part, they addressed the, when you see those trees that are trimmed and they look what we think is absolutely awful. In my opinion, they're still absolutely awful, but they are the proper way of pruning the tree around some of these lines. And I don't think I can adequately explain it, but it is. When you see that, they are doing it in the method best for keeping the line safe. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The next thing another thing they talked about, they took us to a tour of I'm going to call it their command center. I forget what they actually had a name for it. It is a pretty nice room. No photography is allowed in there, but it is. They monitor everything. As any good places, if you ever go in a place of business that is dependent on the weather, they have their weather channel up. Well, First Energy is no exception to that. They have probably 10 TVs with the weather on it, and they monitor stuff all over. And they also do an anticipation. If they see a weather pattern forming, they will get the hotel rooms booked and get the guys out there so they're on site as the storm comes through. And if it does tear stuff down, they got people on site to do it. They also have a priority list. So if you are the only house that is down and out here, and there's like 300,000 houses, other houses out, chances are your electrics can come back up last. They're going to go to neighborhoods where there's like 400 down. That's obviously probably one break. Fix that break, bring 400 up, and then move on to another humongous blocks until they whittle down to the onesie twosies. And that's the way they work stuff. The third thing from that trip is they actually have a safety trailer. The safety trailer, I don't know how best to describe it, but it actually is active with a generator that has 7,000 live volts in there. And I don't know if you guys ever seen that or not, but they gave a lot of good safety tips there, and they showed different things of how they do safety, what they have to wear. You're not safe. I think one of the biggest things I took away from that, if you are caught in a storm in your car, your tires are probably going to insulate you and you're going to be safe. However, if you see them out there, do not get out of your car. Because what happens is as you step out, you're creating a path to ground. And the minute you do that, whatever voltage is up there, and it could be, I use 7,000, that's what they use on the trailer, it could be 30,000, it could be 70,000. There's a lot of different areas they use, and that could do it. So he said stand on if you open your door as wide as you can, if you have to, cross your arms like this in front of you, and just leap with both feet hitting the ground, and then don't walk, but shuffle your feet as you walk away. Sounds like you know what I'm talking about. So that is the safety of First Energy. There's a lot there, but those are, I think, some of the key takeaways to keep you alive should you be caught in some sort of storm or something like that. Okay. What else? Okay, we are currently on YouTube now. I was surprised when I accidentally stumbled across how to do this. And what I mean by that is I watched all the videos, and I tried to make it more complicated than it is. And once I figured it out, Leah, how easy is it?
It's easy.
It's easy. Someone hit the easy button for this. But not only is it easy, once you get on YouTube, you don't have to. I don't have an account with YouTube myself. I don't like having accounts. And so I always log on to YouTube to watch stuff as a guest. You can still watch this as a guest. You don't have to log in. And this will get out to more people. I said it before I left the house today on the TV. So it's easy to see up there. So I think it's going to be, and plus we can save thousands of videos, right? And I accidentally created 2 YouTube accounts, so we have all the videos saved on a different one, which I meant to ask you if you could copy them on the current one. So we'll get to that. So we will be able to get all the former. She saved them all from Facebook, which had a 1-month lifespan of saving videos. So that's good. The last thing I want to hit on is everybody's least favorite topic, are the data centers. First, let me start off. There is absolutely no one has contacted me or anyone here to have put a data center in Clinton. Okay, in my opinion, I don't think anybody ever will. But when you look at data centers, I've looked at. We had several mayors meetings. I bring them up because I go to mayors meetings, come back with the information. There are 3 primary concerns most people have with data centers. Number 1 is sound. For those of you who know me, I've hated our sound ordinance for almost 20 years now. I sat it right out here when they changed it and took all the teeth out of it. And one of the easiest, simplest things we can do right now is work on our sound ordinance. Because that, first of all, it's equally applied to all. So if a data center tried to come in, they could not sue us and say, you're just trying to target us. It is actually something, and I guess I'd say for laws and ordinances, if you can come up with a decibel level that's measurable, that you think might be at that threshold that we don't want after hours, that might be the best way to get that issue taken care of. Okay, there's a few other issues with them, power usage and also water usage. Those are things that we don't want them digging into our lines for that are taking up our resources. And there's ways to control or partially control that. There's actually data centers that are producing electricity. But here's my concern. Not whether we can cover that to stop them here. My concern is our neighboring villages or neighboring townships or neighboring cities. What are they doing? So what I'd like to see as you guys go forward with writing ordinances and stuff against this, however you do it, visit Chippewa, visit New Franklin, visit Lawrence Township, you visit Canal Fulton, and see if we can get something that matches all. Because really the biggest thing I hate to see is if one were to come to the area and say, oh, Clinton banned them, we're going to build right on the border. That's going to tear into our water resources and our electric resources if not controlled right. So we really need to get all of our neighbors on board with whatever we do, whether it's an outright ban, whether it's limits, whether it's restrictions. Because I can just see when someone putting one up there in Chippewa, they get the taxes and we are left without power and water because they're consuming too much. So those are my concerns, and I just wanted to bring that forward to everybody. The more I look into this and what we can do should something ever happen, it may not come to our village, but may come next door. Those are my thoughts on it. And with that, that's all I have for the mayor's report. Any questions or comments at this time?
So if we make a noise ordinance, let's say 60 decibels. So it's okay if we hear a drone of 60 decibels 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That would be okay. That's why we should make a noise ordinance. I get it. You went, somebody bought you some free food, took you on a nice little tour, and you're like, oh my God, look how great this data center is. But when you look at the thousands that are across the country that have ruined areas, just because one flattered you, and that one ain't coming to Clinton, ain't going to come near us. That was an 800-acre mega complex. They had the money to do that.
Well,
And then as far as we fighting it, Bogg sat there last week and he said, well, we got all these committees. They're going to have to go through these committees. They won't be able to touch us. Bullcrap. Clinton, Michigan. Wow, Clinton, Ohio, Clinton, Michigan. What a thing. They end up suing everybody in the town. They put a lawsuit on every single person in the town, and finally everybody's like, we don't have money to fight this. They sued 2,372 people to get their way. When you got places that are going to give anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 an acre. Mr. Henry over here, they come over to him. What do you got, 50 acres? They offer you $50 million cash. You going to sell?
That'd be hard.
Hell yeah, you're going to sell. And when I asked you, if he sells and they build a data center there, what'd you say? Well, no, that's too close to residential. No, it's too close to your house.
No, actually, I've been to first of all, I've been to data centers that have certain restrictions. You know something? With the windows down, I would live next door to those. That's how nice these were, okay? There are restrictions we can do.
But there's very few and far behind.
They're there because New Albany has the restrictions in place. Which is what I'm trying to get us to do. Let's get these restrictions in place. Or whatever we do, but let's also apply to all of our neighbors, so we have the same basis there.
We're not going to be able to tell Doylestown what to do.
No, we're not, but we can ask them.
I mean, we're just not going to be able to tell them what to do. We need to protect our own first.
We can do that.
And keep ours protected, and then we can worry about our neighbors.
Well, I'm not worried about our neighbors, but I would like to have discussions with them and
But what I was
discuss.
saying, when you got companies that are paying $100,000 to $500,000 an acre, that's the average what they're paying.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 30 acres. They come off for me $500,000 an acre. I'm in Florida. I mean, let's just be real. That's a lot of money. That's why we need to set stuff in place. I mean, they could come in, they could buy every house in downtown Clinton if they wanted to.
Well, first of all,
And as far as the committees go, if they have that kind of money, you don't think they can't sue us into bankruptcy?
well, that's why we.
I mean, they can do whatever they
That's
want.
why I'm saying start with something that's very easy to do and it's uniform to everybody. They're gonna have trouble suing past that. Okay, so we start with the sound, which is needed. It's been needed for 20 years. That's not okay, but we need to work on all the other aspects of it.
I'd like to know how many sound complaints New Franklin gets called for a year. I mean, why make a law if we aren't needing a law?
Probably not much, because residents will call me, and I'll tell them our sound ordinance is really, we've got nothing to go on, and they don't go any further. I don't know if you guys got any calls like that, but our sound ordinance does not
I think
cut
the
the
average
mustard.
person, if they have a problem, they call the police.
No, sound orders, I get calls on that.
And they come to my house up to 7 times in one day.
Yeah, well, I can. I was at your house that day. And quite frankly, those calls were uncalled for
It
because,
doesn't matter, but that's what they do. They
Yeah.
get upset, they call the police.
and they found nothing. I was thinking in the midst of, I said, the people were calling, it had to be quieter for them than it was for where I was sitting.
sure.
So, yeah. But no, I really think we should work on a sound ordinance. That's a very quick and easy thing. And that's in general. That's not just for the data centers. That's for in general. It's 9 o'clock at night. I think 60 might be too low, actually. I think you and I have sat out and listened to 60 decibel.
It was 78 was traffic.
Okay,
That
70.
was 500 feet from the road, it was 78 decibels.
Okay. So I don't have a magic number, but there's something I think first thing to come up with is sound. And then also work on this. I mean, you work in tandem, but I really think we should have meetings with our neighbors and just say, hey, look, here's what our fear is. We don't want somebody to come here. It's going to, let's face it, water and electric usage is going to affect us if they are 5 miles outside of town. Okay, that's just a grim reality. So if we can work with our neighbors, say, let's try and set the same standard, and ask them, they can be working the same legislation as we are, and we can all pass at the same time.
But like when you talked about New Albany, me and you had that discussion, their budget, their fiscal budget is what was it, like $50 million?
50 million, their average household income was that, I think.
It was
and-
238,000
Yeah,
was
38, yeah, they're in a higher income
I
bracket
mean,
than
they
we
got
are.
money, they can pass laws, they can, no offense to Seth, but they can hire the biggest law teams there is to help fight that. Mm-hmm. And to make all those restrictions. We got Seth. And again, no offense to Seth, but Seth is going to take on New York lawyers because that's who they're going to hire. They're going to hire a team of 100 New York lawyers.
New York lawyers suck, but they don't know local rules.
Yeah, but when they hire 100 of them and it's one man versus 100 lawyers, we're screwed.
He really doesn't work by himself.
It doesn't anything
Been there, done that. It's okay.
I mean,
I
one-on-one,
put my
I'll put my money on you, but you want 100, I'm going with the 100.
But doesn't anything that come in have to get approval? I mean, it's got to be
No, that's what I'm
approved.
saying. Clinton, Michigan, they had those. They went to those meetings and they all got denied. So then they just sued everybody. That's what
I
I'm
don't know,
saying. When
that
you got
doesn't sound
companies that
right
have
that
this
they'd
kind of
go.
money.
What do you think?
Look it up, Clinton, Michigan.
I think the possibility of someone with that much money suing and getting is possible, which is why I'm saying let's do something uniform that's not direct. If you do a sound ordinance that's not directed towards a data center, and that covers a lot of phone calls that I get right now that I may not get anymore of people calling in. There's just noise. If these are playing their music too loud, they're doing this and that. And back when the reason for changing this and taking the teeth out of it 20 years ago is that the cops couldn't afford the equipment they needed to measure the decibels. Now, I think we can all afford the equipment we need to measure decibels. We all have one, and there's probably 100 different apps you can download, and you can do a decibel reading. And they use it all over the place. Most commonly, probably in churches, people complain the music's too loud. But that is something that is very useful today. We actually can carry a decibel meter in our pocket. If you say, hey, it's 10 o'clock at night, my neighbor's playing their band too loud, and the cop can measure it and say, it's 60 here, I'm sorry, that's not too loud. Or, yeah, you're right, it's 120 over there, it's too loud. So we've got to have a something to go by. Right now, you send the cops out, and it's, okay, it sounds good to me.
Can I just add a little bit on a legal front here?
Yes.
So, one of the ways I would highly recommend you all tackle this is by looking at your zoning code. Find a place in the village that you could stomach it being in that spot in the village. So in Massillon, we're looking at this right now. So both council down there, but also village lawyer. And the target right now for council down in Massillon, at least, is I-2 district zones, so heavy industrial. So basically, Massillon's old steel mills that haven't been used for 20, 30, 40 years is what they're targeting for. If these go somewhere, that's where it's going to be least disruptive because it's an old steel mill area. So on top of that, the regulations are looking at energy usage, water usage, and how to mitigate water usage, sewage usage, and how to mitigate sewage usage, sound issues, and how to address sound issues on the front end. So they have to come to our planning commission and basically present their whole plan for development in an area where they've been told you can build here because your building will least disrupt the community here. So long as you check all of these boxes. They're fairly vague boxes currently, and they're getting narrowed. And that's where you can kind of control, from the village's perspective, a lot of the concerns from sound, water, and noise. But when you're controlling for sound, water, noise, electricity, you're also going to want to make sure that you are not being excessive in your concerns and excessive in your attacks against them. We've also talked about, making the zoning in such a way where it's going to be inconvenient to develop such a data center where, and again, the village here doesn't have something like a data center already. It doesn't have a steel mill, for example. That is a large footprint building that is part of the history of some communities that you can't easily erase. And so a data center is going to come in and say, look at that large steel mill. You guys were okay with that for 100 years, why aren't you okay with me? Whereas in the village, if you look at your map and you find a place where, are they going to build a 100,000 square foot data center, yes or no? Probably not. I don't know what your industrial district exactly, it's to scale, but I don't know what the scale is. So I would highly recommend that each of you take a look at your current zoning map and figure out what rules and restrictions might work for the village and tackle this through zoning. Because there might be a way to create it in such a way where it might not be able to come here because there's nowhere zoned that would be convenient.
Now, Maslin has public water and sewer, right?
Yes, which is a benefit.
Okay,
Well,
so,
private water, Aqua, Ohio.
okay, but still,
yeah.
the point is, if I were a data center, I'd probably look at Maslin way years before I'd ever think about Clinton, Ohio.
Big thing's the sewer.
Okay,
Sewer more than water. Water you can truck in. But they're also starting to recycle water. So that's a concern that's getting mitigated. We'll see what it looks like in 3 years.
okay. That makes sense.
Is there a data center in Maslin now?
There's one being built in Perry Township, which is between Maslin and Canton. I believe there's another one being targeted in Canton. And I believe there's one being targeted in Maslin, which has prompted Maslin to take a look at their code.
Is that 9th Street Southwest, somewhere on 9th Street? Do you know?
The one in Perry?
Well, I thought it was Maslin.
So Perry has Maslin addresses.
Oh, okay.
But,
There is one.
oh, the Bit Deer.
A bit, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that technically not a data center, but effectively operates like one. So if actually, they're very open to the public and very transparent, at least right now. I'm sure if somebody here wanted to have a conversation with the folks at Bit Deer and how their operation works and whatnot, I'm sure they'd be receptive. They've been pretty good, at least to folks over in Maslin. And as far as the county as a whole, kind of bouncing between roles here, but
No, I would actually love to see that one. I'd love to see an active one nearby that I can walk up to, especially if let us go inside. I think it'd be cool. But, and that's also could be a big factor. But the biggest thing, especially when, hey, if they can sue their way in, what can we do to avoid that from happening? And just, I want to make sure whatever we do is rock solid.
a
It works
robust
for,
zoning code protects you and insulates you.
okay. Do you have any examples you could bring or send to us?
Everybody's reinventing the wheel, let's put it that way.
Okay. So, all right.
It might be just, again, worthwhile looking at what areas in the village would be most attractive to a data center and figuring out how to regulate if one were to ever target.
Okay.
Or, better yet, where the village would want one if it had a stomach one.
Okay. Makes sense to everybody? Any questions? All right, with that, no more mayor's communications, council committee reports, council communications and council committee reports.
Anybody?
Go get them, Tanger.
It's me. It's always me. Your other committees need to step up the game here. All right, I just want to take a couple minutes here. I will not talk as long as the mayor, but I will try to keep it shorter. To look back at our America 250th celebration, share a few thoughts on how it went. First and foremost, thank you. There are a lot of people who helped make this event happen, and I know I'm probably going to miss someone. And if I do, I apologize in advance. Just know it's my memory, not my appreciation. I would like to thank a couple members of our actual village, and that would be Sue Mayberry and Kevin White. They both stepped up without even asking and did things that I didn't even know were going to happen. So they are a testament to people who don't even live in the village helping out with this. So that was a huge thing for me. I want to call out and thank the Clinton Community Action Group and all of their volunteers. This event would not have been possible without them. Our sponsors, our vendors, our entertainers, our community organizations, again, the staff, all the members of council. I appreciate every one of you. All came out despite the weather. And one last little, it's personal thing. I want to thank my wife. She did so much work behind the scenes, listening to things, running ideas past me bouncing ideas off of her. So thank you to my wife for all that help. Overall, I honestly couldn't be happier with how the day turned out. Estimates put us about 100 to 130 people attended throughout the afternoon. Could we have had more? Absolutely. But for given it's a first-year event, we had to compete with the weather several times. I was thrilled with the turnout. People stayed, visited with each other, supported the vendors, listened to music, and enjoyed being together. I did have people showing up while we were packing up. We had another 10, 15 showed up as we were packing up. I went down at 4:30 to pick up the flags and the podium, was the last things that had to come back, and I had to turn away 3 people who had come down at 4:30 in the afternoon. So that's a testament right there. Little side moment for me as well. One of my favorite moments throughout the day was the first rain shower. While most of us adults were looking for cover, the little ones were bouncing through puddles, laughing and playing. I spent weeks watching the weather forecasts, and the kids spent about 5 seconds deciding they didn't care. That reminded me the event was about families making memories, not perfect weather. The Little Roaming Railroad was an absolute hit. That thing was running back and forth, bringing multitudes of people. Every train car was full. Baked and Loaded, I talked to them today. They served around 60 people. They actually ran out of food because they couldn't turn on their grills, so they ran out of potatoes and hot dogs. They had to go. So Krista's Treats got wiped out by the weather. We're grateful she came. The Ice Cream Man stuck it out with a smile all afternoon. Mike and Brian from the Lunatics kept the music going despite the rain. And I am sorry we missed out on Cliff G. I was really looking forward to Cliff G. Some lessons learned. The weather canceled the vintage baseball game and the adult field day events. No one entered the pie contest. Apparently everyone wanted to eat pie, but nobody wanted to bake one. But every event teaches us one. One thing that really worked well, and this goes up over and beyond the America 250th celebration, the social media campaign that we put together and I was worked on exceeded my expectations. Instead of one announcement, we spent weeks telling the story of an event through several reveals and updates. We created reusable signs, documents, and layouts that could save time and money if we decide to do this in the future. The biggest thing to come out of this, over the past 28 days, our village Facebook page generated more than 65,000 views, an 850% increase over the previous month. We had nearly 4,000 engagements over the last 90 days, including 564 reactions, 87 comments, and 189 shares. We gained 91 new followers while only 5 unfollowed the page, and nearly 78% of all views came from people who weren't already following us. I want you to stop and think about that for a second. We are a village of about 1,000 people, yet our content was viewed more than 65,000 times on Facebook in a month. That's about 64,000 more people than actually live in Clinton. That exposure benefits not just every future event we do, but every local business, organization, and Clinton as a whole. So this event was more than just building a community event. It was also putting Clinton on a map to 65,000 people. I think Clinton should be proud of what we accomplished. We didn't set out to put on the biggest celebration in Ohio. We set out to create a day where neighbors could spend time together, families could make memories, and our community could celebrate what makes Clinton, Clinton. So, I don't measure success by attendance. It was measured by neighbors talking to neighbors, kids running through puddles, volunteers jumping in, and smiles on people's faces. This wasn't any one person's event. It wasn't council's event. it was Clinton's event. We were just fortunate to help bring it together. So again, thank you to everyone. And looking ahead, I'm going to take a moment, and I'd like the council to consider making this an annual event and allow us to begin planning this fall while ideas are still fresh. I truly believe we started something special. Whether council decides to continue this event or not, we've shown what this community can accomplish when volunteers, businesses, organizations, staff, and everyone works together. Please consider it. We'll discuss it, or we can make a decision tonight. And if we do, I promise next year I'll try to schedule it on one of Northeast Ohio's 2 guaranteed sunny days. So, and I am open. Oh, one last thing on, it has nothing to do with that. Everybody knows Trailhead Pizza's open. This is a community development thing. Please get out and support them. They had a rough weekend like we did with January 3rd and 4th and all the rain. I had an opportunity to try them on Saturday. It was good. I can tell you their mac and cheese on their mac and cheese burger is phenomenal, and I'm hoping they're going to make just mac and cheese as a recipe. So get out and try Trailhead Pizza if you get an opportunity. And I'm open to answering any questions anybody has, or comments, or suggestions, or anything.
I just say, Tom, this is your 7th month on council. You've done a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good job.
I second that.
It was a team effort. It wasn't one person. It was a team effort. Everybody stepped in one way or another. So we had tons of businesses support us. Unfortunately, we weren't able to show that support because we didn't have anybody in our contest because of the rain. So, but everybody stepped up.
That loaded, for those of you who weren't there and didn't get a chance to try the loaded baked potato, it was fantastic.
Yes.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
So was the ice cream, but the loaded baked potato was incredible.
Well, I want you all to think about it and see. I would like to do this again. I've already talked to a couple people who would like to sit on a committee made up of council and residents to put together next year's event, and they want to start meeting in September. So, more time, think what we can accomplish. And I don't have exact numbers, but I know I came in under budget. So,
What do you guys say? You want to make a motion tonight, or you want to think about it?
I say let's make a motion to make it annual.
you want me to make the motion?
No, he made it. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Tom, you're up again.
All right.
Thank you.
Deck. Thank you.
All right, any other council communications, council committee reports? Okay, citizen comments. Ken Noon, you are up.
I have 2 questions in regard to June 16th council meeting. The first one is for the solicitor. You stated that you reviewed the OVMP situation at a very high level. What did you mean by that statement, at a very high level?
So I can't comment on that, as that would be attorney-client privilege communication between, well, I can't even disclose who I would
Well,
have discussed it with.
Who's your client?
My client's the village.
Okay. My second question is, this question is the council. The solicitor stated he reviewed the OVMP situation with council. My question is to council, prior to June 16th, did the solicitor review OVMP situation with you? I would like to hear from each person on council. Just a yes or no answer. We start here.
I don't know what you're asking.
Prior to June 16th, June 16th meeting, the solicitor stated that he reviewed the situation with the OVMP with council. I'm asking you, did he or did he not review that?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Can't answer that? Okay. Thoughts? Same thing? Prior to June 16th, did the solicitor review the OVMP situation with you?
Can I just interject and say any communications between council members and legal counsel would be protected by attorney-client privilege, and I would recommend that you not waive that attorney-client privilege by discussing that in an open meeting.
For sure.
As counsel has to vote to waive attorney-client privilege. So everybody on council would have to vote, the majority of council would have to vote to waive attorney-client privilege.
Interesting. I mean, it's just a simple question that, you stated in the meeting that you discussed with council the situation. I mean, so you told everybody that you discussed it with everybody. I'm asking you, prior to June 16th, did you discuss with council? It's an easy question, easy answer. What, Mr. Blankenship?
I'm not afraid. I did. I talked to him about it.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to discuss any of it, but yeah, I talked to him about it.
Okay, is your council president, did you talk to Gotch and Henry and Boggs and Kepper and Joseph about it? I'm just curious, as president of
I
council.
think everybody's talked about this OVMP and the disgrace that you put to Clinton with your Facebook post.
Well, I appreciate that. You didn't meet me with over there either.
You never invited me.
Oh, yeah, I did.
If you would have invited me, I would have went over there.
Didn't you see it on Facebook? Okay.
No, I don't. I don't live on Facebook like you obviously do with your ridiculous post.
Okay, well, you did go after council people on the same media that you're accusing me of embarrassing this community over.
Because you post 2-3 times a week about nonsense.
Okay, well, that's your opinion, but that's what social media is all about, sir.
2-3 times a week.
Ken,
Try to make
your time is up.
Okay, you flip it back over, sir.
I
That's
will,
all you get.
when the next person gets in there.
You're welcome.
Okay, Marissa Gensmore, your name is on here.
Yes.
If you come into the microphone, please.
Well, hang on a minute. I signed up for 2 people because Jackie had messaged me and said, I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. Could you talk for the community action group and give a report? But since she's here,
Would you like me to put my name on the paper because I wasn't sure I would be here in time?
Come on up.
so I'll let her go before me. This is just so she's here.
Your name is in my handwriting.
Okay, I'm all right with that. Everybody heard me say it. Okay, I had an appointment, I'm sorry, I didn't think I was gonna make it, and I asked Marissa just to bring everybody up to date on the yard sale. We will be having the event page post tomorrow. We have the flyer made, but our group has to, I'm gonna pass it to everybody and they approve it, then I'll post it tomorrow. Trailhead Pizza has agreed, but I was hoping before the meeting, because First Sip is a, drink truck, and we're trying to get, it's not alcohol drink, I know, bummer, huh? We're trying to get them to set up, and Trailhead agreed to let them be on their property. So we're waiting for the final answer if they're going to be, so that we can add it to the flyer and say that their truck will be there with the food and right there by Middle Street, and everybody will be accessible. So they're supposed to let me know tonight. I was hoping before the meeting. I haven't heard yet, but Trailhead did offer let them come on their property, and that way they'd be together. So we get to post that. Marissa is meeting with Mary, and they're going to make out the map of all the locations that we agreed on, and then that'll be published. So we did say on Facebook today there will be several days of announcements.
What's the dates? Because I'll put it up on the.
It is July 25th.
Okay.
So
Put it on our site.
we will pass out
Starting
the
at what
first
time?
9 o'clock. So it's usually 9 to 4. So we want to do it till 5. It'll be 9 to 4, 9 to 5, we'll decide. But that's what's going up. And then I answered back today because a couple people asked and said this information will come tomorrow. There was just, I really wanted to get an answer back before I put it in writing and put it out there. So that's all. That's where we're at.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so first of all, I want to apologize to council because I should have remembered that you need a supermajority to pass to go without the 3 reading rule. And I didn't even think of it that night. So I apologize for not advising you guys that it wouldn't work. I should have remembered that. However, it's a big book. There's a lot of ordinances that until you actually deal with the situation, you know, sometimes you don't know to look it up, right?
Change anything? Did it change anything?
No.
Okay, then there's no need to apologize.
Well,
I knew it as I sat here.
but I could have told you that, guys, that,
Well, you didn't
that
need to.
rather than, okay, all right. But I felt bad about it. Once I saw Ross's thing, which I don't get on social media hardly ever unless someone calls me and say, hey, look at that, because, and anyway, so, so there's that. I did have like 3 people call me and who don't do social media and ask about the event, and and so there are still people out there that don't do social media. So
Yeah.
other ways of advertising or keeping the Facebook page updated and
I got through this event. I'm going to start focusing on the webpage as well.
yeah.
So,
But there are some rules which I didn't know about this rule when I was on council till Jan Godwin pointed it out. There was lots of stuff going on back and forth when we were going through the first sewer issue back then. And on the chapter 30 of the Village Council Rules, 30.02L, it's called reconsideration. So any member who voted with the prevailing side may move to reconsider any action of council, provided that the motion made not later than the next regular meeting after the action was taken, but not more than once shall a matter be reconsidered. So that basically means that if you voted one way with the prevailing vote, and you had a week, a couple weeks to consider it, and you decided, you know what, I gained some new knowledge, you can rescind your vote, and that whatever that happens. Just so that's food for thought for you guys going future, that I didn't know about it until somebody pointed out to me. So there's lots of stuff in there that sometimes your eyes glaze over when you're looking through the ordinances, and those are little things that you can miss. I did have some question for Seth. Just clarification on resolution R2606. In section 2, I read this to say how I read it. There was other people that read it another way, but if you could, everybody interprets things in their own minds, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're a little off. I want to know if I'm off. So if you could let me know. It says the mayor is directed to review and consider the potential impact of centers within the village and make recommendations to council on how best to appropriately regulate and zone data centers within the village. And then it goes on to say that. When I think that Bud actually did do some of this in what he put forth earlier today, I don't read this as a contradiction to section 1. I read this as he's just to do the research on data centers, not actually broker a deal with a data center. So it's
Right, I cannot
not-
broker a deal with a data center. Yeah, you're
No, I'm
absolutely
asking the
right.
lawyer, but thank you for the clarification.
Right, so in
According
short-
to the law, yeah.
In short, this is a little bit more robust compared to what a lot of other communities have for a moratorium. Typically, where it says mayor, it would say administration. I pulled this from what I've done in other communities and what we're doing down south, where they have a lot of people in the executive branch who are hired for community development, for planning, for code enforcement, for building code enforcement, etc. Here in the village, it's pretty much the mayor in that administrative role, so I just switched out the word administration to the mayor.
Right, but
But it's more of a recommendation.
Yeah,
Come back to council with how you would approach this situation, how best to mitigate the risks while taking advantage of the advantages if at all possible.
so that's the way I took it. So I was just making sure that I was understanding it
Giving somebody
correctly.
a job.
Well, basically,
the
yeah,
story.
but
Yeah.
but it does not say
I'm
that.
sorry, Marissa, we
he's-
hit the 3-minute mark, so.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. That is all for citizens' comments. Jackie, you have a question?
I think I still have like 10 seconds.
You actually do have about 30 seconds, believe it or not.
I forgot to ask, not everybody does social media, and in the past, we have published the yard sales in the newspaper. We do have a lot of older citizens, as we did see that at the 250th. And I've dealt with that socially at my store, that there are people who miss the social media posts because they just don't do it. So I wondered if the village would consider running the yard sale day in the newspaper again.
Tom, do we have enough money left over from the 250th?
I would like to make a motion to use some of the funding left from the America's 250th to run it in the
I
newspaper.
second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Done deal.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know I didn't get a chance to write my name on there because I didn't see the sign in.
Okay.
First time I've ever been to a
Oh, okay.
meeting.
Well, come on up.
My name is Jeremiah Heffler. I'm a resident of Clinton. Moved here in 2020. The reason I'm here tonight is there's been some concerns, I guess, from others about noise ordinance with around our Second Amendment, about shooting on land. I'm here to say that I am a law-abiding citizen, that I do shoot on my residence. I feel that if we're law-abiding citizens and we're following the ordinance around not doing it obviously at night, that we're being respectful to others. You know, if it's doing it during the day and stuff, that I feel like we're doing the right thing. You know, we have the Second Amendment in place. So again, there's lines between people's feelings and our amendments, and obviously we have a noise ordinance and things. But if we're being respectful and we're doing what's right, and honestly, people should be grateful that they do hear people practicing with their firearms, because it means that they're practicing and making perfect for themselves. That, you know, they're not just, they don't have these weapons and stuff, and that they're not practicing with them. And if somebody has the property to do so on that, and they're doing it with safety and concern to others, that they should have that right to do that. You know, again, everybody has their opinion. I've heard this concern that people are concerned about noise ordinance and stuff, but again, shouldn't infringe on our Second Amendment. So I just wanted to stop in and make that comment.
Jeremiah, let me just make a few comments. I wasn't here at the last meeting. The reason why is because I spend 2 weeks every year up at summer camp, of which I'm an NRA certified shotgun instructor. So I've been around guns my whole life. I enjoy it. What I'm looking at the noise ordinance, when I bring that up, it's not to stop your right from shooting. The noise ordinance, as you read now, is certain hours of operation. So like after 9, I think it's after 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I don't remember. It's actually 7. It's actually 7. Okay.
9 to 7.
All right.
9 to 7.
9 feet?
I think it's to 10.
Yeah, that's what I thought, till 10 o'clock at night. So if they provide a decibel level in there of some sort, it'll probably be after 10 o'clock at night.
Sure.
And at no time of year is it still daylight at 10 o'clock at night in Clinton, Ohio.
Sure.
So, you know, I don't think that'll curtail your right, and I'm all for, especially at today's price of ammunition, I'm all for anybody who can afford to shoot. Yeah, I've got a 16 gauge that I pay almost $1 a round for to shoot a few weeks ago. But it can get expensive, but it's also a lot of fun. So I don't think anybody in this village wants to stop you. What few laws we do have in place as far as shooting, the projectile, to put in legal terms, if he might correct me, the projectile must not leave your property. That's one of the terms. Am I using that proper?
More or less.
More or less, okay. I'm not close enough to be an attorney yet. Okay, so that is one. You have a good backstop and all this stuff that I'm sure you are well aware of.
Yep.
And I have to, I teach this to the people every day as they come in there, and I give the safety speech when I do this. So, yeah, I'm sure you're aware of all that, but those are the biggest things.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
let
I just wanted to bring it up because, again, as it sounds like you guys are going to be looking at noise ordinance stuff and revising some of that, and again, obviously, us law abiding, just common sense at the end of the day, that somebody's not going to be out there after 9 a.m. shooting.
Okay, all right, let me give you this, what our 137.09, discharging firearms. No person shall discharge any air gun, rifle, shotgun, revolver, pistol, or other firearm within the corporate limits of the village. That's A, but we followed by B, okay? B says, this section does not apply when firearms are used in self-defense, in the discharge of official duty, hunting, or target practice, which would be target practice, to the extent or to when otherwise lawfully authorized under the Ohio Revised Code and Ohio Administrative Code or the common law. And C, Part C is the teeth in this, whoever violates the section is guilty of a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. So that's what our ordinance reads. I think our ordinance is in alignment with the ORC, if I remember correctly, the way this lines up now. If you find anything different, let us know. But thank you very much for coming to the meeting.
Bring it up because
Yeah.
if people, again, getting feelings out of it, coming and, complaining about it, you're getting complaints about it. It's like, at the end of the day, it's in your ordinances. It's our Second Amendment right.
Well, so far the complaints I've gotten are not your average shooting. It's rapid fire shooting they're complaining about.
Gotcha.
So, and the person that was deemed that they thought was doing the firing, I checked with, and was not the one doing the firing, it's someone else. So there's a lot of people in that area
Sure.
that are discharging firearms and have ranges and stuff set up.
And me
So-
personally, at the end of the day, hearing that makes me feel safer because, having citizens in this village, and again, a smaller village, that, I have neighbors that have guns that, again, can protect themselves and their family and, maybe just protect our village in general if anything major was to happen.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, and come on back to the meetings.
I just want to comment that I know where you live. I know what house you live in. I thank you for the fireworks on Saturday night, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
We light it up.
I saw you out there shooting the other day. You are very respectful. It's not like you're out there shooting for hours on end. You're out there shooting 15, 20, 30 minutes at most. It's not bad. I don't have a complaint, so you'd have my support. I don't see any issue with it.
Yeah.
So-
If I'm out there shooting, it's not a long time. I mean, again,
Yeah.
Okay.
ammo's expensive.
Jeremiah, we do have a time limit, but what is
sorry.
your last name again?
Neffler
Neffler.
with a K.
We're probably related at somewhere down the branches.
Could be.
Well, if I had known as Neffler, I wouldn't have let you. No, I'm kidding. No.
I appreciate it.
I know another Neffler somewhere. All right. Jim, did you want anything? Did you you didn't sign up? You're good. Okay. All right. He always has a great smile. Okay. So resolutions and ordinances.
First reading, resolution number R-26-07. A resolution amending the annual appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the village for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, and declaring an emergency.
I'm going to comment on that real quick. So the two items that we're amending, it's the $2,500 that was approved for the America 250 celebration, and then the $5,000 is the combination of the flags and the trees over here. So it's stuff that you guys already approved. I just had to amend the budget for it.
You need it passed tonight, or can this
No,
wait?
it can wait.
Okay, go wait. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, resolution number R-26-08. Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from the general fund to the Street Equipment Reserve Fund of the Village of Clinton and declaring the same to be an emergency.
This one is what was approved in the budget for 2026 to just put into that reserve fund. It's like a 10-year plan, so that in 10 years we have money for the new dump truck or whatever you call it.
Dump truck.
I don't know.
Plow truck.
I don't know if they call it.
No, I think it's a
He calls
plow
it like a 1 ton or
Oh, the 1 ton? Okay. Yeah, that's a different one.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay. Second reading, resolution number R-26-06. A resolution implementing a moratorium on the development of data centers within the village and declaring an emergency. And no third readings.
Okay. Moving on to new business.
For new business? Yeah, okay. I would like to make a motion that we go back to, or we go to having one meeting a month? First.
For summer.
For the summer.
July and August.
Right, for July and August?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for July and August, just one meeting for the month, and it'll be the first.
So
it would be
that would
this one,
negate 2
and
meetings, right? So it'd be the next meeting this month, and the second
This
meeting in
me-
August.
Today's meeting, and then
August
next, and then August 4th, yes.
And we wouldn't have the second one in August, just like one in July.
We won't have a second one in July nor August.
Oh, I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? You guys were hesitant. Any discussion on this? Ken, you had something to say?
No, for
You
once.
sure? Really?
Clarify it.
We're good.
Anybody else?
Wait a second. Where's Jackie? She had something we needed to discuss on the second meeting to clarify with the yard sale, if you guys remember. Because we said, well, we could do this, but we
Yeah,
had
that
a
is
couple
correct.
weeks. So we need to get Jackie back in here to find that out before we do
I think it
that,
was,
because
about
we did
road
tell her
closure
that we would
stuff.
discuss it.
It was the road closure.
The road closure.
Yeah.
Once they got all of the people that to know where
Oh, the maps.
for the maps. And in the meeting, we discussed closing from this side of the drive-through Main Street so that people could still get to the drive-through and they wouldn't lose their business, as well as Don and Worth on the north side, because we're going to use that area there to put people there as well.
So you want to close down in front of Gordon's and all the way to the drive-through?
No, this road here, right?
No, from here north.
Oh.
That way.
I think we've had road closures in Clinton in different areas for events that didn't have to go through council. So if she wants to, I can have Kevin.
We don't approve it for Apple Fest.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
So we can, so she can just send me what she wants closed. I'll talk to Kevin, he'll close it off. And as long as we don't cut traffic all the way across town, I think we're
Yeah, we
fine.
don't do that for Apple Fest.
Yeah.
But we do close all of Main Street.
Right,
We
right,
do.
right, but you don't get
Council
approval, you don't have to have the approval from council to do that.
Yeah.
So that's
So-
what we're saying.
Yeah, so, no, I will, whatever you guys want, let me know, and I'll have Kevin close it down.
Okay.
So, not a problem.
I just want to make sure that was
Okay.
Right,
handled.
right.
Yeah, I hate to have a meeting just for that
Right.
subject.
Right.
Okay,
Nice consideration.
yes, thank you. What?
Oh, she don't mess around.
She had to get back.
There's only one person faster.
All right, okay. Call for the vote.
Blankenship,
Aye.
Scotch, Henry,
Hi.
Knepper,
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We are not here 2 weeks from now. We will be here the first,
August 4th.
we will August 4th, and then we will resume in September, whatever date that first Tuesday is. So, I'm sorry I didn't memorize the calendar this year. Lots of other things to memorize. All right, thank you. Any other new business? Moving on to council general discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
So Bud McDaniel, not Mayor Bud McDaniel, Bud McDaniel, are you going to hang that damn helicopter?
Yes,
Is it going to be done soon?
I hope so.
So this is on video, everybody in Clinton, because I actually had 3 people call me that were upset because you weren't hanging the helicopter. And I said, did you talk to anybody at the OVMP directly? No. Then why do you think that they're not hanging the helicopter? Because I read it on Facebook. So I want to hear it from the horse's mouth one
Okay.
more time. Are you
Stepping
hanging the
aside as
helicopter?
mayor for a second, it's always been our intention to hang them, to mount that Huey up.
Okay.
Okay.
And so you can't talk about the OVMP.
Oh, yes, at the OVMP has always been, there's never been anybody inside that's wanted to leave it on the ground.
Okay, so you can't talk about the VMP, but I'm going to, because I've gone down there and I'm old, fat, out of shape, and I go down there and I pull weeds and I kill weeds. Instead of taking pictures of weeds, post them on Facebook, I go down there and do something. I'm looking at weeds outside there. There's all kinds of weeds outside my house. We had very high heat. We had torrential downpours for days on ends. There's going to be weeds. So if anybody could please go help the OVMP, and I'm not saying anything bad about the OVMP, They got a lot of 80-year-old volunteers. They need some younger guys, preferably younger than 54, to help out and pull some weeds.
Complain about it.
Old man. So if you could please help out with the weeds, I would appreciate it. I know that they're gonna have a special day, but if you go down there and walk around and you see a weed, don't take a picture, just bend over and pull it out. Throw it in the grass.
Can't just spray them.
Well, and once again, stepping aside, this is a private citizen Bud here speaking. My son was down in 3 or 4 hours yesterday, did a lot of work. There is no one single, I'm down there, I've walked through the river, pulled stuff out, handfuls at a time, and there is not something one person can do or two people. It does take a lot of volunteers, so.
You could say it takes a village.
It takes no, I don't want to say that.
Well, we got you on tape, you're recorded. Get the helicopter.
I am.
It's just one of those things where
That
we're
way
tired of
quit.
hearing about it.
Tired of reading about it on Facebook, tired of hearing about it.
Right.
Me too.
I am just so, and I'm not the only one that's tired of hearing about it and reading about it.
A lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
I agree.
So, let's just,
Okay. All right, any more council general discussion?
Just one more.
Yes.
Hats off, man. You did a great job. You really did.
Thank you.
You really did.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you're handling it next year, not me.
Oh, I'm handling it next year. Now, here's the problem, though. We have committee reports every single month, so y'all better bring your A game next month, because I don't have anything.
It's going to be back to normal again when they have no committee reports.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bored.
Well, thank you, Tom.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you, Fred. Did you have?
I do. I've had several complaints, people that were very, very upset that the trees came down because they spent money and donated those trees in memory of their loved ones.
So we still have the placards that were on those trees, and
All of
those we're
them?
gonna go back out.
Okay.
And they're going, yeah, there's
We're
going to
gonna
be.
do like a flower bed on this side of the drive, and then put the placards back out there.
Okay.
Yeah, they are going back up. I talked with Kevin last week, and obviously you did too, and so that they're not being lost.
We took them all down before they were cut down.
That was one of my concerns. Is for years we've talked about having to take those trees out, and that has always been my top concern. Is there's people that donate money, I want to see their names still honored.
Yeah, they might go on something different, because right now they're just on little name plates, so we might have something different. Flag, or, I don't know, something. But those names will go back out there.
Are we putting any other kind of decorative trees, flowering trees up? Ornamental?
Nothing was in the plan.
Diane was giving us some suggestions just for along the drive here of certain flowering, like bushes, and nothing, not really trees.
Okay, because I have I think it's called a red bud. I don't think they get very big.
Diane gave me names, but
Okay.
I think it's going to look beautiful when it's done.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Way better than it did.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even really know there was a gazebo there, to be honest.
It was
I mean, you couldn't see it.
Well, I think that's kind of a work in progress too, so it's
Well,
not
I
like,
think the nameplates will be more visible.
I didn't know there was nameplates.
Instead
Than
of
where
the-
they were on the trees. They had blended in. They were brown, so you really couldn't see them.
I only saw 2 flags. I didn't see.
There's quite a few. There, I think every tree had one.
Me and Marissa went by there. We counted like 5 or 6, didn't we? Yeah.
Really?
Yep. They were hidden because they
Yeah,
kind of like
Right.
grew up.
That's what I thought.
And we've
They,
had
like,
a few trees
grew
come
with
down
the
over the
tree
years
up in the
too.
air.
The
So
trees, yeah,
yeah.
that's what I thought.
All right. Any other council general discussion? Okay. Presentation of purchase orders and bills for approval.
Can we get a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Any questions? Any comments on the invoices?
Yeah, the one tree bill was very expensive. It was like $9,000, and part of that was alley cleanup. So we've talked about it before. I want to say it again. We need to give the alleys away. We need to give them to the citizens. $9,000 to clean up alleys is just ridiculous. We shouldn't be taking care of these alleys that we can't drive up and down anyways. I think we really need to whatever committee that would be, Seth, what committee would that be to?
I would probably send it to laws and ordinances if I were you all. There is a way under the Ohio Revised Code for you guys to just summarily vacate alleys. It's a little messy from a title perspective, just because, well, when you transfer property, you usually give somebody a deed, you do a replat, you make it look pretty. That's not this. This is just, it no longer exists. Figure it out. Not our problem anymore.
Now,
And then technically the way it works is it would get split down the middle and divided up to each adjoining property owner. So if it splits 4 ways, it splits 4 ways. If it splits 2 ways, it splits 2 ways. But it could create some slight boundary disputes in the future between property owners that technically would not be the village's problem, but would be a problem created by a summary vacation. However, you guys have a lot of alleys. On that white map, you see most of them.
Right.
That's probably the.
I don't know how you do a replat.
That's right. Most of those aren't even existing alleys, right? They're just something on a.
A
plat.
lot of them have sheds built on them.
Exactly.
even
Or
though they're
houses.
not-
There are
Or
some with houses on them.
Yeah.
So that's probably a place to start.
Yeah.
I mean, I claimed my alley years ago.
Right.
You guys start taking care of it, well, you can have it back.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw you out there with the post in the ground. This is mine. No.
Yeah.
But no, let me, and I don't know how many of you gotten, I know at least 2 of you on this board have gotten, I have a list of all, not just alleys, but properties that we own that I don't think we need most of them. And it'd be nice to get rid of all of them. As far as the alleys go, you told me there's one key thing of why we've always kept alleys is for the public utilities right of way. And you said there's a way we can still deed the alleys out, but keep a right of way there for a future sewer, water, whatever.
Well,
Right.
Amelia Sykes got turned down, so that ain't gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah. So that, anyways, that is part of what could be done. And so if anybody wants that list, let me know. Give me a call, send me an email. I will send it to you. I'll
Please
look
send
at
me a
it.
copy.
Okay, you want a copy? Okay, I'll get you a
Yeah,
copy.
is there any other costs associated besides the cleanup that with us owning these alleys? Do we pay
A
anything?
couple years ago, we had a resident that yelled, screamed, and complained because a tree fell down that was in the alley, and we had to pay to get rid of it because the tree originated in the alley. And I think Kevin went down there and cleaned it up. But it's just one of those nuisance things where why are we having these alleys if we're not maintaining them?
Because
It's like
that one wasn't even like a used alley.
no, it was
It was-
vacant.
Yeah, like a line of trees.
And they used them. I think there was a shed on one side of the alley, and they used the alley. But as soon as something bad happened,
It became our problem.
right? And then if a kid would climb a tree and get hurt, I'm sure they would try to sue us because it was
Our
alley.
liability.
That is actually, our code states that these citizens are responsible for the alleyways.
Right.
That's specifically our code. I've had to hand that bad news out a time or two.
It'd
And I
just be
hate
easier.
handing that out, but it has to be done.
It'd just be easier just to give them because Jeff said he handed out 4 people that didn't mow their grass. Well, are we mowing our alleys?
We're not. We do not
Okay,
maintain our
so
alleys. Yeah.
it's kind of hard to give somebody a bill for not mowing their grass when we're not taking care of our property. So I think it would be another one of those things where if we could just get rid of these alleys, that's just one less thing we got to worry about.
Tom, I'll send that to you. You guys want it?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
because like the big.
I'll send it to everybody.
The big lots that we have, we need to like reach out and maybe we could make those into like commercial and try to get some businesses in here.
Okay.
You know what? Get a rolling data center. Hey, as long as it's by Bud's house, I am okay with it.
Totally had to.
Well, but I just sold my house for $50 million to a 1-acre data center.
Wait a minute, they're coming to the park.
Sorry,
This will be John's last
mine are
meeting.
going to be quiet because, no, you guys
He's
got
going
it.
to pass a big
Mine are going to be
check.
quiet because the generator's going to be run by chickens running on it, the treadmill.
So, speaking of the chickens, I found out why you didn't get a sign
Why?
in your yard. Because when she was delivering signs, she saw a chicken running in your neighbor's yard. She assumed that was your house. That's how she, I kid you not, I asked her. She goes, well, I thought that's where he lived. I says, no, one house over. I says, it was probably his chicken, but it was at the neighbor's. So yeah, that's how you got the sign went next door, is because she saw a chicken in the yard.
You know, it's funny, she never said a word to me about the sign being there, so.
I asked her. It's because.
Yeah, I asked for one.
The chicken crossed the road and.
Yeah, why the chicken cross the road to put the sign in my neighbor's yard?
Yeah.
Man, I've never seen that punchline before. Okay.
So that's actually the reason.
Oh, we're still on presentation of purchase. Okay, so, well, I wanted to, wait a minute. So we're still on bills. We have a motion and a second. You said there's $9,000 for the alleys.
It was
Well, it was
other
the alleys
stuff too.
and the parks.
It was other stuff too.
But it's not broken down, so I don't know how much was the park, how much was but the alley was
So
part of
what
it.
was that the park that was approved by council, or was that when we went over and did the Warwick, get that set up? And
Yeah,
this-
that
okay.
was
All right, so
Warwick
that,
Park, and then
so it wasn't.
the oak tree by the salt shed, and then debris cleanup of alley, and then trim all trees along the business
Okay,
district.
so that is part of the job of cleaning up. So even if we didn't own these alleys, if we do take trees down, we're gonna clean up all around. So that was part of the cleanup on that particular job. And plus taking down 2 trees. Those trees were nasty. Kevin and I walked through. He says, what do you think of this? I said, oh, they need to come down. And so that's why you had a bunch of stumps over there. He didn't grind the stumps. There was no need to, but.
We paid to have them ground.
No, over here we did.
No, it was on that part.
On that
Cleanup
part
alley,
too?
It was on the invoice. It was $750.
For stump grinding down there.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take another look at that then. When Kevin gets back, I'm gonna have to ask him about that, we might have done it in the park, but not the one by the salt shed. I don't think he
There are a
did.
couple that were ground down there.
Okay,
I
you
thought
saw
I
that?
saw it Sunday.
Okay, all right, they were the part that wasn't underwater when it rained, right? Okay, all right, so we have a motion, second, roll call.
Scotch.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Knepper.
Aye.
Joseph.
Aye.
Blankenship.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion
To
adjourned.
adjourn.
So moved.
Do we second each other?
Hopefully next meeting